Yeah, so here we go. Basically, sanitize your can. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Put your can in there and lift the arm, and it should go right up into that thing, okay? Now, if it's a little off, you could loosen this by turning it clockwise and holding that still, and then you could kind of pivot the shaft. If it's really off, you got to undo the bolts down here to move this whole assembly. But if it's a minor adjustment, you can take this lock nut, turn it that way while holding this still, and make a minor adjustment in the wiggle, and then lock that nut back up. But it should basically go like that. Okay, see how it goes right in the gate with no effort? I'm not having to do anything. Well, where it should stop is right here. See that little area? It basically stops with resistance and then push it close. Stop with resistance, push it close. Now, if it doesn't want to push close, or it's too loose, you could turn it this way, or you could turn it this way to loosen it. See, that loosens it. But if you want it tighter, this way, you kind of go like that. Let me hold this. And then that does that. Okay? Make it a little tighter. Goes in, seals. Okay, now your first op. Your most important op is your first op roller. When this comes in, that's basically the clearance you should see in there. Okay? Just like that. It should line up with your first op roller just like that. Okay? That's the amount of clearance you want to see, which I think is like 0.3 millimeters. It should line up just like that. Now this one, your second op roller, should line up just like that. That's how much clearance you want to see on your second op roller. Okay? Basically almost dead smack in the middle. Then the way to set the distance is take this out, and basically what you want to do is your first op and your second op, you want to hold your first op in, spin this chuck, but this shouldn't spin, okay? So basically if you're spinning this and it's spinning that, you gotta back this screw, you gotta push this screw in a little bit, tighten it clockwise. Throw that screw in so that you could just spin this, but it doesn't spin that wheel. And then repeat it on this side. Basically, hold your second op all the way in. If you're turning this wheel and this is not turning, back this out. And back this screw out all the way until this starts spinning. And then just very subtle turns until you could get this to spin, but that not to spin. Okay? And then you basically end up with a perfect seal all the way around. The length of this on me, I believe, is 2.3, and the thickness of this gap is 1.3 mil. So 1.3 mil average, the thickness, and 2.3 mil on the height of this thing. And basically what I do is I turn it on and I go 1, 2, 1, 2, and it's sealed.